Greetings, YouTube. I received a lot of positive feedback from the 5-star updated Infinite Streak Guide for the arena, but the main concern was, hey, Prof, I don't have the team, the roster to do the 5-star. I do the 4-star featured. And so that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. I am not going to be talking about the 4-star basic in this arena video. If you want me to do a separate video, I might be able to do that, but I don't like to waste users' time, and I don't think that the data on that has changed very much because you can't use 5-star champs in the 4-star basic arena. And part of the reason why the algorithm keeps shifting in the 4-star featured and the 5-star featured is because of the use of 5-star and, in the 5-stars case, 6-star champs. That is why the Infinite Streak keeps having to be moved up. If everyone's roster was the same and it didn't change, the algorithm would stay the same and these videos wouldn't be needed. Keep in mind, this is why until the game introduced things like Tier 5 basic catalysts, the Infinite Streak never changed because the prestige of the top players, other than maybe a few more rank 4 5-stars, was generally the same, and that was not enough to change the internal mechanics of the algorithm, if you will. Boy, that sounds like a very professor-type sentence. Sorry for the jargon, but that's just, it is what it is. Now that we're ranking up 5-stars and 6-stars faster than ever before, we are also changing the meta of the algorithm, which demands you bring in higher PI teams, higher boosted teams, in order to avoid the Infinite Streak where the algorithm thinks, okay, I think this person needs to potentially fight a death match in order to bring their streak back to 0, because then it will take them longer to get points, and no one wants that. So this is going to follow a very similar pattern with a couple of tweaks to the 5-star featured arena video I just put out. Now keep in mind that this is not going to apply for any 6-stars. So generally, this is going to be the same strategy for fights 1 through 10 that I gave in the 5-star featured arena video. Now, just in case you are coming across this video, thank you for clicking on it, by the way, and you have not seen the 5-star yet, or maybe you have no use of doing the 5-star one because you don't have anything close to the roster, we are going to start strictly by talking about 4-star champions. Now, notice they have given you no option to do the 3-stars. Every once in a while, someone's like, what about 3-stars? So I just want to point this out. In the 4-star featured, there are no 3-stars. It's only 4-stars and 5-stars. And obviously no 6-stars. So that's just what we're going to talk about today. 4-star champs and 5-star champs to help your streak. Now, I want you to remember this motto: 3,000 PI and above. This is why do not bring any 4-stars into the 4-star featured arena that are below rank 3. And if I scroll all the way down, I'll see that my 2 worst 4-stars, which are still at rank 3, as you can see from Rhino here. Rank 3, Rhino, Lord help me for why I even put a few wasted signature stones in him. And then, of course, still Ronan, the only champ that I have received so far from my Labyrinth run, because I've only done one, the quote-unquote easy path. But even then, I would not bring in the 4-star featured because they're below 3,000 PI. I would only bring in Ant-Man and above, and if you have anybody that you haven't ranked up yet, don't even think about bringing them in. You might get away with it in fights 1 through 5, maybe, but don't be surprised if you're on like round 4 and if you bring in like a Winter Soldier that's 3,200 and then a couple of 2,200 champs, if suddenly you're fighting 4,400 champs and you just lose your streak because of the difficulty after only 4 rounds of fighting. You want to keep the PI of all of your champions at over 3,000. And if you're looking at my champions and you're saying, but Prof, I'm level 60 and my champs aren't even close to being rated 3,000, chances are your mastery setup is not optimal for arena grinding. I have just published in the last week a updated mastery guide that I think is a really good overall setup for both maximizing your PI in the arena so that you get as many points as possible per fight, while also having fantastically necessary masteries like parry and certainly dexterity, and more expensive ones like deep wounds and assassin that you can utilize for your streak overall, including Alliance Quest and Alliance War, etc. So back to the video. 1 through 5, I would say 3,200. Fights 5 through 10, I would advise you to bring in your best rank 3 4-stars. So I'll bring in people like MODOK and Luke Cage, Yondu, Crossbones, fighters that I do really well with. Even Civil Warrior with his awesome Special 2 power drain, I usually can utilize. Now keep in mind, this is also where you really want to start utilizing synergy teams. So this is where when I get to round 8, I'll bring in my Red Hulk and pair him with my 4-star Domino to get that awesome Incinerate damage on the heavy attack. And then I said this in the 5-star video, but I always have a very easy time getting to that final round of a 10 win streak, from a win streak of 9 to a win streak of 10, by utilizing my magic with my Drax, who also has a synergy with my Star-Lord. That is my favorite strategy to get me to that top streak. Now, just as before, the game will make fights 11 through 15, rounds 11 through 15, as hard as it can. You're going to be seeing people like 565 Medusa and Corvus Glaive and Void and Blade and Stark Spidey. All of these quote-unquote top tier, god tier, whatever you want to call them, tier top champions. The game is going to throw you at rounds 11 through 15. So you have to bring your best champions in. Now, sometimes, just for fun, because I like to live on the edge, I'll bring in 550 4-stars. Now keep in mind, even if I bring in, say, my best synergy teams of 4-stars, like the Holy Trinity of Stark Spidey, Blade, and of course, scrolling down, Ghost Rider, this is still going to be a team that in rounds 11 through 15, you're going to be fighting those 565, 12, 13,000 PI'd 5-stars with my 6,000, almost 7,000 PI'd 4-stars. That's not to say that I can't defeat that quote-unquote death squad, because these are my best 4-star champions, but I still am going to have to fight really well, and if I make a mistake, especially if I push a champion to a special 3, I will automatically be dead, and 2 out of 3 losses in an arena round sends your streak all the way back down to 0. So save your best 5-stars for the 11 through 15 fights. Ideally, you want to have at least rank 3, but hopefully rank 4, and if you have rank 5, 5-stars. I have the Holy Trinity of my 5-stars in Fight 11 of the 4-star featured arena. Fight 12, I bust out Hyperion, Iceman, and Star-Lord. Fight 13, Magic, Vision, and Void. Fight 14, Wolverine, Nebula, and Corvus. And then for Fight 15, to get me to that safe starting point of the infinite streak, I bust out my favorite 4-star team, which if you didn't see the other video, I used to go Archangel, Iceman, and Hyperion. What a first world problem, right? But now I go with OG Vision and Age of Ultron Vision to guarantee power control on 2 out of 3 of the fights. And then also my Scarlet Witch, which remains one of my favorite champions even after the patch 12.0 nerf. Now, once I get to round 15, I am going to stick with the strategy of only using 550 4-stars. If you have to wait 2 hours for your best 550s to refresh before doing rounds 16 through 20, it is totally worth it. Because even in the 4-star featured arena, like the 5-star featured arena, if you jump too soon to arena teams that are 440s with PIs between 4,000 and 5,000, you could easily trigger a death squad, and it's a whole lot easier to defeat that death squad with that 7,000 overall Blade, Stark Spidey, and Ghost Rider than it is to defeat him with like an Electro, Venom, and classic Spider-Man. So don't bust out your 440 teams until streak 20, and then I am going to say this, like I said in the 5-star, I would not trust any 4-star teams that are below 4,000 each PI. My Mordo would be my cutoff. Even Carnage at 39.56 I wouldn't trust, unless you want to take like a Carnage and a Taskmaster and throw in to make up the difference like an Elektra. That should work. But anything below 4,000, you are inviting the chance at a death match. Similar to the 5-star featured, if you had not seen it yet, I am going to mostly use my 5-stars, which most of them are still at rank 125, because I don't want to throw in a bunch of tier 1 alphas and waste those just to rank them up. What I have tended to do in the past month or so is take my best, highest PI'd 5-stars that are duped. Hela, Rogue, Morningstar, Punisher 2099, Psylocke, Falcon, and I put them just at rank 2. I am almost not going to bring up anyone here ever except for maybe Morningstar to rank 3 eventually. But this is just for the arena, so that I will take one of these. Say I'll take a Morningstar, and I'll feel very confident now about using a Morningstar and throwing in 2 of my lower PI'd 5-stars, like a She-Hulk and a Kingpin, for example. But I have to do that, and if you make the mistake of using 3 rank 125s below 4,000 PI, like say I bring in the Sentinel, Kingpin, or She-Hulk, 9 times out of 10, I will trigger a Death Squad, and it will be very difficult to take in this Kingpin and defeat a 12,000 PI'd 565 insanely maxed out Void. I'm probably going to lose, and I'm probably going to go back to a streak of 0. So, as a reminder, I'm trying to get this video in under 15 minutes. Fights 1 through 10, 3,000 PI'd and above a piece, rank 3, 4 stars. Ideally, you want to save your best 4-star teams between 3,000 and 4,000 PI for the fights 8, 9, and 10, because once you get to a win streak of 10, then you're going to want to switch to your best champs for rounds 11 through 15. You're going to want those champs to ideally be 5 stars. Rank 3, rank 4, and rank 5 preferably. If you bring in your 4-star teams, you can still do it, but be warned, even at 550s, you're going to be fighting people that have double the attack and health of you, because you're going to be fighting rank 5 4 stars against rank 5 5 stars. Now, rounds 15 through 20, it's imperative that you stick with at least 5 stars that are rank 3 and above, or 4 stars that are rank 5. Once you get to a win streak of 20, it is now safe to use most of your 4,000 and above 4 stars. But if you want to use your lower ranked 5 stars that are at rank 1, and most of them have between, 3,000 and 3,500 PI, you want to throw 2 out of 3 of them with a 5-star that's at least at rank 2. I'm thinking of someone that is definitely above 4,000, but ideally even above 4,500, so that you're never flirting below the 12,000 overall combined PI that will most likely underneath that give you a quote-unquote death match. It's a lot of information to cram. I got through all of my notes in front of me for this. I know that this is something that a lot of people love to grind for, because you have a better chance of getting the 4-star than the 5-star when the scores are now 70 million plus. I hope this helps you. I am always trying to make videos that benefit the community as a whole. Thank you for watching and supporting my Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube channel. And once again, happy holidays. I hope you're enjoying time with your family. Make sure to enjoy taking time away from the game, because you don't want to be spending all of the holiday season on your phone.